So who do we want to protect?
Children.
When do we want to protect them?
Now.
Is Terrence Murphy protecting our children?
No.
Who do we want to protect?
Children.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming out today. I want to acknowledge some special supporters here with us today. Of course, our survivors, thank you so much for your advocacy, your leadership, your willingness to share what I'm sure is a difficult story to make sure this doesn't happen to other children. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. We have some elected officials here with us. I want to thank Jean Favre, who is with the Village of Mount Kisco trustee, and Vishnu Patel, who is a councilman in Yorktown. And I see some of David Buchwald's folks here. He's on vacation, but thank you all for supporting this. We do have time for, I think, just a few questions. If anyone who's gathered here, any of the press, have some questions for any of us. Tom?
Yeah. Alan, what's your thought on the proposed plea deal for former Forest Greeley High School drama teacher Christopher Schroffnagel?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The former Forest Greeley High School theater teacher Christopher Schroffnagel has taken a plea deal over sex abuse of kids at Greeley. And one thing that has concerned the town judge there and some residents is that it does not include sex offender registration because the 3 counts that he's pleading to, misdemeanor endangering the welfare of a child, are not on the list for registration in the state. Would you support, what do you think of the fact that the deal does not include registration for it?
I think we need to pass the Child Victims Act, the Omnibus Child Victims Act, because then we won't be in this position that we're in today. We need to pass this act so that we can be sure that these predators can be held accountable and that children, whenever they are able to disclose, even if it's when they're adults, can hold their predators accountable. I think that should be our top priority. Do either of you want to address the question?
Sexual predators belong on our registries. They do not belong on our streets. That man should be on a sexual abuse registry. It's that simple.
Thank you. Yes.
I wonder what your thoughts are in terms of prevention and, creating environments where predators can't get away with grooming in the first place and trying to prevent some of this abuse, whether it be, education about parents, students, educators, etc.
Okay, the question, in case you couldn't hear, was about prevention. And, prevention is definitely key because, as you've heard today, once a child is abused, it's something that's going to be with them for the rest of their life. So prevention is really, really critical. This bill is so important for prevention because, as I mentioned, child predators abuse again and again and again. There are some child predators, and it's not uncommon, that abuse hundreds and hundreds of children, dozens in cases as well. So making sure that we can create an environment where kids can come forward is really critical to prevention. Because if we can get someone on the first time they do this, we're actually preventing hundreds of other children from being abused. Being able to talk about it and not sweep it under the rug and treat it like we talk about cancer. Like cancer is an important issue. We raise money for cancer treatment. This is a public health crisis. 1 in 5 children. I mean, the numbers are staggering. It's rampant. We need to talk about it. We need to address it. And we need to come together as a community, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever your affiliation. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. It should not be. It should be all of us working together to protect children. Would either of you like to add about prevention?
Gary's predator admitted to abusing over 300 children before he was caught. The teacher who raped me in the United Kingdom is now serving in a maximum security jail. He raped 100 children before he was caught. Gary Greenberg was the first child that we know of that was raped by his predator. I was the first child that I know of that was raped by mine. Every day we go through life carrying the guilt of not having stood up and protected future children at the time, bowing to our shame, not our duty. I understand that. We have to pass the Omnibus Child Victims Act and allow allow people to come forward when they can, and protect children for the future.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you so much for coming.